Alright guys, so pretty much we got the gas tank in, and we got it exactly where we want it. Fitting it in here wasn't too much of trouble. I did say last time that we were going to go with the Del Sol one, but I just didn't like how it fit. I'll give you guys a shot of that one. So it's kind of like triangular shaped. I don't like how it looked in there. So I'm sticking with what I was going to do in the first place, which is the original gas tank, but it's a new one. So what I did is I ended up building a bracket that comes off of here to hold this bolt hole. We drilled into the frame to hold that bolt hole. And then what we're thinking we're going to do is we're definitely going to utilize the original. It came with the strap that held the gas tank in, so we're going to use this bolt to somehow tighten it up. I don't know about that yet. We did put a piece of steel going all the way across from the bottom to provide support from the bottom, as you guys can see. And then also we ended up putting the filler neck over here where I told you guys, because there's going to be a lot of room in this corner, and I kind of spaced everything out kind of how I wanted it, so things aren't just like rubbing up against each other. I do need to bend that tab up so that way it's not rubbing on the lines. Other than that, I'm thinking still where I'm going to put the filler neck. I know I'm going to cut it down. I don't know if I kind of want it towards the middle or if I want it like in this corner right here, but still need to figure that out. Also, I still need to cut a hole, and I'll probably, because I don't have an aluminum welding machine, I'll probably take it to somewhere. I have a friend lives right down the road. Probably cut the circle out and add the part for the pump. Other than that, the gas tank's in there. It's kind of slanted at an angle, a little bit backwards, like tilted back, so that way when the gas is in there, it's all going to be towards the pump, so the pump's not going to be starved at all. Moving right along, I'm just going to kind of show you again the inside. So the inside, we got the kind of the firewall framing done. We added the Del Sol back window to all this, and so that way we can kind of get an idea of what we need to cover up. So I did add that. I added some steel plating down here as well on each side diagonally to provide extra support. When this gets in place, it's going to get held up like that, so that way it's not just a big open space right here. I'm going to put some rib nuts in this, and then that way it's nice and up like that so you guys can see. I will put like some sort of foam in there or something to seal the gap, you know what I mean. I'll figure it out when the time comes. Also, when I end up doing that, I won't have that many spots to patch up. Like, for example, right here I'll need a sheet metal. Right here I'll need a sheet metal and cut out for some grommets. Same thing on the other side. Nothing too crazy. I did go over my welds. I went over a lot of my welds. I mean, yes, they're boogery, I don't care, but they're gonna hold up. I did add gussets and spots that needed some gussets added. I added these square tubings right here to provide extra support for the body up here, to provide extra support for the body, so it's not just flapping around pinching the sheet metal. Like if it gets, you know, if one decides to come down while the other is going up, it's not going to make a crease, better yet said. So I did that on both sides. Went over a lot of the welds. So, I mean, that's nice and sturdy now. I could pretty much move this car with one hand back and forth, so that's a good plus. the body didn't twist on me or anything while I was welding. Also, with the wire, I'm going to do MIG welding, and the MIG welding I'm going to do is just pretty much to patch and tack up some burn through spots, like for example down there, and little bit burn spots over here, and one couple right there. But I'm going to use the MIG welder to do that, wire fed. It's easier for me to fill in with the MIG than it is with the stick welder. Also, we did cut off the tow hook, and we did drill out our bolt holes for these supports for the subframe. So those are in. The tow hook is cut. It's no longer there, so that way this is all free. Can get air, so if when we do go boosted, we might put the intercooler here. I'm not sure, because I don't want anything to hit it or anything, you know what I mean? I'm not there yet. So we got the dash in pedal assembly. So I was trying to look at the pedal assembly. I think I'm just going to go with the Hush Performance cable to hydro conversion pedal assembly, so that way that's taken care of. I told you guys about the wiring. We pretty much got the wiring all done. The wiring for the back window is right here as well. I extended all of that, and it goes through its perspective grommet to go in through here, and it connects to the back down here to the mechanism. Also, you can see the mechanism. The whole mechanism sits inside these the square tubing that I bought down there. So I mean that we could pretty much sheet metal all of that to provide extra support from heat and whatnot. Also, the window, I know you guys are thinking, well, what the hell is he going to do for a window? Well, I think I might just go with a thick plexiglass, because everything's going to be heat wrapped, and there is going to be a lot of air getting through there. I'll make sure that if anything starts to warp, like the plexiglass starts to warp or something like that, what I will do is I'll end up using just a piece of thick sheet metal then that'll go all the way through, and I'll cut a hole about down here and add plexiglass only to that spot. So when the window's up, you can see through. When the window's down, it's pretty much like, you know, for shows, people can peek through and whatnot. Also, I did test fit Del Sol seats in here. Del Sol seats fit perfect. I loved how it sits. I loved the right height. I loved how I can see over the dash still. It wasn't too low or whatnot, because if you've sat in a Del Sol, it's pretty much like sitting in a go-kart. I did try to lower the suspension a little bit from the torsion bars, and it didn't get too far down, but it's not too far up anymore. Like I said, the suspension is blown. It overextended itself, but I am going to add coilovers to this, and what we're going to do is we're going to make adjustments to this whole top hat, so that way it can accept coilovers. I did hear that you have to with some coilovers you would remove this part, but I'm not sure. I'm not there yet, but we're getting there. So I mean, take a look for yourself, guys. We are almost at the point that we can start adding in piping and the motor, and pretty much once the motor's in, like I said, we made this to be plug and play. We don't need to figure out what wire goes to what ECU, what plug on the ECU, so it's pretty much a plug and play situation here. The motor we're going to be using is a B20B. It is sitting on an engine stand back here. I am going to refresh it. I'm going to put one of my tunes on it as well, so hopefully we'll be around. I want to get an LS. I want to do an LSV again, so I want to make this at least to start off with about 220 horsepower is what we'll be shooting for around, and that's pretty much what we'll get from stock components out of B20B with that VTEC head, you know what I mean? You squeeze out a little bit more or less, but we're in that range, and we already we have a, what's in that hatch right there, as a matter of fact, is an LSV Tech B20B bottom with GSR head. And I make about, 225, 220 around there. So, I mean, it's a fun little car. It's on one of my tunes. I do have a video of me smoking some people, but that's not in this video, so we're just going to focus on the build. So I hope you guys pretty much enjoy it as much as I do. I mean, I've been working out here. I spend mostly all day just working, tugging along, and getting this thing done. You know, I'm trying to get it done for some shows and whatnot I have in mind, and definitely if you'll be at those shows, you can come check it out for sure. Also, I will show you guys in the next video the center console mocked up as well, so you guys can get a good look at that. I already know how I'm going to go about that as well. I'm just waiting to put in put in the engine, sorry, so that way I can know how far the shift linkage needs to go and be extended. And if this part, because you see how it divots down right there in the tunnel, I just want to make sure that it's going to clear and be fine, because if not, I'll have to cut that out and just you know, make it level like the rest of it all the way across. And that's no biggie for me. I already know how I'm going to go about the shift linkages. I have 2 shift linkages sitting in the pile over here somewhere. Oh, also a big thumbs to this one is that we do not need to change out the hubs or the arms or anything to accept B-Series, because these are B-Series spindles. So we're good on that. All we're going to do is refresh everything, all the bearings, and clean everything up. So, I mean, that's it for right now, guys. I haven't really got to the really exciting parts yet, but we're almost there. Also, we are going to make that bracket for the steering rack. Now, the steering rack, we're going to get rid of the steering rack, and I told you we're still going to utilize the original inner and outer tie rod. So what they'll do is they'll screw in to a piece that I'm going to make, and it'll bolt in the same spot that one goes into, and just, you know, it's going to occupy less space. It's going to give us a little bit more room to play with. I mean, I don't have a problem with that going on. I'm sorry, I'm like spacing out, but I don't have a problem with doing that, because I just want more room for the exhaust to be able to pass through, because how it's going to be set up is the exhaust is going to be pretty much coming straight out the back, straight out this way, you know, like dead center in the middle where the tow hook used to be, because I mean, that's where it would go if you put a normal exhaust on, you know, that's where it comes through. So it's going to be pretty dope. So I like that idea. Also, I'm going to get this one going and running also as well for my new daily. Just to putt around. Nothing special. It's got the original motor in there, so I mean, what, 90 horsepower. Nothing too spooky. Maybe we'll throw some fucking nitrous on it. Who knows. So there's the build, guys, and I'll get another video for you. I mean, I'm not good at making videos. I really don't care. I'm just good at building and putting shit together and figuring things out. So I mean, I could always use a cameraman, but like I said, just follow along, subscribe, and you guys can always hit me up on HP Tuning, HPTUNEING on Facebook, or my Facebook page, or my YouTube channel. Thanks, guys. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.